Maryland Real Estate Exam State Questions. Question 1. A transaction file for a single-family home raises an issue involving the Maryland limitation designed to prevent a team from appearing to be an independent brokerage. Which answer best resolves the classification? Option A. Disclose the advertiser's licensed status and broker relationship. Option B. Include the licensed brokerage name conspicuously. Option C. Present a true and non-misleading picture. Option D. Avoid the words real estate or real estate brokerage in the team name. The correct answer is option D. Avoid the words real estate or real estate brokerage in the team name. Advertising must directly connect the team name with the brokerage name. A team operates within the licensed broker's business rather than as a separate brokerage. The team name must not mislead consumers about who is responsible for supervision. Question 2. Which concept should a tenant apply to facts involving the usual Maryland timing for a covered seller's residential property form? Option A. Deliver the disclosure or disclaimer on or before contract formation. Option B. A hidden material condition posing a direct health or safety threat. Option C. Inform the buyer of statutory disclosure rights. Option D. Inform the seller of disclosure or disclaimer obligations. The correct answer is option A. Deliver the disclosure or disclaimer on or before contract formation. The purchaser dates and signs an acknowledgement of receipt. Late delivery can create statutory termination rights subject to deadlines and exceptions. The buyer should receive the information before becoming bound under the contract. Question 3. Gavin is studying a rule concerning the standard Maryland imposes on a broker overseeing affiliated salespersons and associate brokers. Which term should be chosen? Option A. No supervision for independent contractors. Option B. Reasonable and adequate supervision. Option C. Supervision only after a complaint. Option D. Supervision limited to escrow matters. The correct answer is option B. Reasonable and adequate supervision. Failure to supervise can support disciplinary action against the broker. Independent contractor status does not remove the broker's supervisory duty. The broker must maintain controls that support lawful and competent brokerage services. Stressed about your AccuPlacer? We can take AccuPlacer for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. When a retail suite transaction involves the Maryland Ethical Standard for Real Estate Advertising, which answer identifies the controlling concept? Option A. Disclose the advertiser's licensed status and broker relationship. Option B. Include at least one licensee team member's name. Option C. Present a true and non-misleading picture. Option D. Avoid the words real estate or real estate brokerage in the team name. The correct answer is option C. Present a true and non-misleading picture. Claims about property, services, pricing, and credentials must be accurate and supportable. Material limitations should not be hidden in a way that creates a false impression. The standard applies to digital, print, telephone, and other consumer communications. Question 5. A practice question describes the authority needed for a Maryland broker to invest trust money. Which response is best? Option A. A secured area within the broker's office. Option B. Notify the commission in writing within 10 days. Option C. Provide notice to both interested parties before a good-faith distribution. Option D. Written instructions or written agreement of the interested parties. The correct answer is option D. Written instructions or written agreement of the interested parties. Written direction identifies the permitted account or investment arrangement. The broker may not place client money in an investment based on unilateral judgment. Records must remain available for inspection and accounting. Question 6. During a financing review, which principle is illustrated by the Maryland ethical rule preventing commingling of entrusted funds? Option A. Keep brokerage and client money separate. Option B. Written instructions or written agreement of the interested parties. Option C. Notify the commission in writing within 10 days. Option D. Provide notice to both interested parties before a good-faith distribution. The correct answer is option A. Keep brokerage and client money separate. Segregation preserves ownership and makes every receipt and disbursement traceable. Unauthorized use can constitute conversion and lead to severe discipline. Operating expenses cannot be paid from a client trust account. Question 7. Which answer states the concept associated with the record-retention period for documents connected with a completed Maryland real estate transaction? Option A. 3 years after closing. Option B. 5 years after closing. Option C. 5 years after license renewal. Option D, until the next commission audit. The correct answer is option B, 5 years after closing. The period begins on the closing date for a completed transaction. Transaction documents must remain available for the statutory 5-year period. Electronic signatures and documents are included within the records that must be preserved. Question 8. A salesperson handling a small apartment building in Bowie must identify the Maryland professional duty concerning significant property information. Which choice is correct? Option A, a penalty of up to $5,000 per violation. Option B, do not guarantee future resale profits. Option C, disclose known or reasonably knowable material facts. Option D, verify a recommended home-improvement contractor's license annually. The correct answer is option C, disclose known or reasonably knowable material facts. The licensee should make a reasonable effort to ascertain material facts about property accepted for agency. Technical matters should be referred to qualified specialists when needed. Intentional concealment and negligent failure to investigate obvious issues can both support discipline. Are you looking for Maryland real estate actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access Maryland Real Estate Study Guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get Maryland Real Estate Answer Key today. Question 9. During a lease negotiation for a rental home in Rockville, PREA needs to identify the rule described as the Maryland requirement after changing an escrow account number, bank, or establishing another reported special account. Which answer applies? Option A, written instructions or written agreement of the interested parties. Option B, a non-interest-bearing escrow or special account. Option C, keep trust money until an authorized disposition occurs. Option D, notify the commission in writing within 10 days. The correct answer is option D, notify the commission in writing within 10 days. The duty applies even though the funds remain properly segregated. The broker should document the date and substance of the change. Prompt notice allows the commission to maintain current information for audit and enforcement. Question 10. A buyer is reviewing a condominium unit in Cumberland. Which term describes the management step required for each Maryland real estate branch office? Option A, designate a branch office manager. Option B, appoint an unlicensed office administrator. Option C, allow each salesperson to supervise independently. Option D, transfer all supervision to the landlord. The correct answer is option A, designate a branch office manager. The broker appoints an individual responsible for supervision at the branch. The manager's oversight duties apply to salespersons and associate brokers registered with that office. The broker retains overall responsibility even when a manager is designated. Question 11. At a title examination, a Maryland exam candidate encounters the following description: the minimum age qualification for a Maryland real estate salesperson applicant. Which concept is being tested? Option A, at least 16 years old. Option B, at least 18 years old. Option C, at least 19 years old. Option D, at least 21 years old. The correct answer is option B, at least 18 years old. The applicant must also satisfy education, examination, character, and broker-affiliation requirements. Maryland requires a salesperson applicant to have reached 18 years of age. Age alone does not authorize brokerage activity before the license is issued. Question 12. Imani is assisting with a duplex transaction in Hagerstown. Which principle applies when the facts involve the examination requirement before a Maryland salesperson can proceed toward original licensure? Option A, pass only the national portion. Option B, average the two scores into one result. Option C, pass both the national and state portions. Option D, pass only the state portion. The correct answer is option C, pass both the national and state portions. Maryland divides the licensing examination into separate national and state components. A candidate who passes only one part must still satisfy the remaining portion within the applicable eligibility period. Each portion must be passed at the required standard rather than averaging the scores together. Question 13. Which answer most accurately identifies the ethics instruction included in Maryland salesperson pre-licensing education in a real estate transaction? Option A, complete 1 hour of ethics. Option B, complete 5 hours of appraisal law. Option C, complete ethics only after licensure. Option D, complete 3 hours of approved real estate ethics. The correct answer is option D, complete 3 hours of approved real estate ethics. the applicant must still complete the remainder of the approved curriculum. The ethics component is part of the approved education required before licensure. It addresses professional conduct in addition to substantive real estate principles. Question 14. A question arising during property-management audit concerns the state body responsible for licensing, examination, regulation, and discipline of real estate licensees. Which choice gives the best classification? Option A, the Maryland Real Estate Commission. Option B, the Maryland Association of Realtors. Option C, the Local Planning Commission. Option D, the Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxation. The correct answer is option A, the Maryland Real Estate Commission. It adopts and enforces rules within authority granted by statute. Private trade associations do not issue Maryland real estate licenses. The Commission acts to protect public health, safety, and welfare through professional regulation. Question 15. While analyzing a vacant parcel, AMINA must apply the concept involving the consent required before a Maryland broker or qualified branch manager acts as dual agent. Which answer should be selected? Option A, do not reveal a client's negotiating limits without authorization. Option B, written informed consent of all parties. Option C, assign separate intra-company agents to the buyer and seller. Option D, disclose offered financial bonuses to each party. The correct answer is option B, written informed consent of all parties. The consent form must comply with Maryland's content and affirmation requirements. A buyer or seller may refuse consent and is not required to accept the conflict. Dual representation creates conflicts that must be explained before the arrangement proceeds. Question 16. Which real estate term is defined by the Maryland procedure when a party fails to complete the transaction and the broker intends to distribute trust money under statutory authority? Option A, keep brokerage and client money separate. Option B, written instructions or written agreement of the interested parties. Option C, provide notice to both interested parties before a good-faith distribution. Option D, promptly account for all trust money. The correct answer is option C, provide notice to both interested parties before a good-faith distribution. The broker communicates the intended recipient before releasing the funds. The decision must reflect a good-faith reading of the contract that created the trust. Interpleader or continued holding may be appropriate when the broker does not make a discretionary distribution. Question 17. In a transaction involving an office building, which rule controls when there is the Maryland requirement when a licensee advertises the sale, rent, or purchase of real property? Option A, avoid the words real estate or real estate brokerage in the team name. Option B, present a true and non-misleading picture. Option C, show the broker or branch manager telephone number. Option D, disclose the advertiser's licensed status and broker relationship. The correct answer is option D, disclose the advertiser's licensed status and broker relationship. A salesperson or associate broker must also identify the broker on whose behalf the advertisement is made. The public should know that the advertiser is acting as a licensed professional. Failure to provide the information can be grounds for discipline. Question 18. A property manager asks about the confidentiality rule governing price and terms in Maryland dual agency. Which answer provides the legally accurate concept? Option A, do not reveal a client's negotiating limits without authorization. Option B, written informed consent of all parties. Option C, assign separate intra-company agents to the buyer and seller. Option D, disclose offered financial bonuses to each party. The correct answer is option A, do not reveal a client's negotiating limits without authorization. The seller's willingness to accept less and the buyer's willingness to pay more are protected information. Protecting these facts prevents one side from gaining an unfair bargaining advantage. Motivation and urgency are also confidential unless disclosure is authorized or required by law.
Stressed about your FCLE? We can take FCLE for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass in payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 19. Hector encounters the total statutory membership of the Maryland Real Estate Commission during a marketing review. Which principle should guide the analysis? Option A, 7 members. Option B, 9 members. Option C, 11 members. Option D, 15 members. The correct answer is option B, 9 members. Geographic qualifications apply to designated professional seats. The body combines professional expertise with consumer representation. 5 members are real estate professionals and 4 are consumer members. Question 20. Which choice best matches the description the method a Maryland listing minus side licensee uses to satisfy disclosure duties while holding property open to the public? Option A. Treat every party fairly and honestly. Option B. Present written offers and counteroffers promptly. Option C. Display the commission open minus house notice conspicuously. Option D. A written brokerage agreement. The correct answer is option C. Display the commission open minus house notice conspicuously. It must remain visible and use the commission minus prescribed form rather than an altered substitute. A private scheduled meeting may trigger different written disclosure steps. The official notice informs visitors that the licensee present represents the seller or lessor. Question 21. During review of a mixed minus use property in Baltimore, the parties discuss the document establishing a Maryland residential brokerage relationship between a broker and client. Which term applies? Option A. No later than the first scheduled face minus to minus face contact. Option B. Treat every party fairly and honestly. Option C. Present written offers and counteroffers promptly. Option D. A written brokerage agreement. The correct answer is option D. A written brokerage agreement. The document also helps the parties understand potential conflicts and termination rights. Agency should not be inferred from casual assistance when state law requires a written relationship. The agreement defines the representation, services, compensation, and duties. Question 22. An exam scenario presents the Maryland rule protecting consumer selection in a single minus family transaction. Which answer is most accurate in the per-listing meeting described? Option A. Do not require the buyer to use a particular settlement minus service provider. Option B. Provide the required buyer selection notice in the contract. Option C. Explain the differences among Maryland agency roles. Option D. Underground storage tank. The correct answer is option A. Do not require the buyer to use a particular settlement minus service provider. A broker or salesperson cannot condition settlement on the buyer choosing a specified title, settlement, escrow, lending, or title minus lawyer provider. The contract must contain the required notice of the buyer's selection right. A seller may still offer owner financing under the statutory exception. Question 23. A licensee preparing for a title examination must recognize the Maryland duty when a licensee offers a contractor's name to a client. Which concept does this describe? Option A. Do not guarantee future resale profits. Option B. Verify a recommended home minus improvement contractor's license annually. Option C. A penalty of up to $5,000 per violation. Option D. Disclose known or reasonably knowable material facts. The correct answer is option B. Verify a recommended home minus improvement contractor's license annually. The client must be told where the licensing information is available and the date of verification. The licensee checks the contractor's status through the Home Improvement Commission each year before making the referral. The statute treats this referral differently from several other listed service providers. Question 24. Which answer correctly classifies a situation involving a Maryland disciplinary restriction on specified promotional methods? Option A. Verify a recommended home minus improvement contractor's license annually. Option B. A penalty of up to $5,000 per violation. Option C. Avoid prizes, lotteries, or contests used to influence a property sale. Option D. Do not guarantee future resale profits. The correct answer is option C. Avoid prizes, lotteries, or contests used to influence a property sale. The rule prevents promotional devices from improperly inducing consumers in a real estate transaction. Marketing programs must be reviewed before launch for licensing and consumer minus protection compliance. Advertising a free appraisal is also restricted unless it is genuinely available without regard to the requester's purpose. Question 25. At an inspection period in Gaithersburg, Quinton explains the Maryland licensee who may serve as the dual agent in an authorized intra-minus company transaction. Which real estate principle is involved? Option A. Disclose offered financial bonuses to each party. Option B. Assign separate intra-minus company agents to the buyer and seller. Option C. Written informed consent of all parties. Option D. The broker or designated branch office manager. The correct answer is option D. The broker or designated branch office manager. Confidential information remains protected except when disclosure is legally required. An affiliated salesperson cannot simply appoint themselves to represent both sides. The dual agent manages the brokerage conflict and assigns separate intra-minus company representatives.